Not your average tabletop. Woohoo!
Welcome to Not Your Average Tabletop. I'm Zach,
And I'm Pepper.
and today we're going to rank our Coloretto colors of the chameleons.
Yes.
And
Karma Chameleons.
yes, Karma Chameleon.
Got me
this,
right.
this was this was something we had kind of talked about a little bit during our top 60 this last year, top 60 games of all time. You can go check that out if you want to know more about, if you haven't before and want to know more about kind of what our favorite games are. You can check those ones out. But we had brought up, I think, that we had previously kind of just on our own ranked, since we like ranking things, making lists, checking them twice. We had ranked our favorite colors of these in the game, just kind of for fun, and we thought it'd be fun to just make a somewhat short, hopefully short video about it.
Short.
Not too much that's different between them outside of the colors, but
Yeah.
we'll have to see here. But if you want more content on Coloretto, because it's a relatively simple game, let us know and we can try to make that happen.
Yeah. Don't mind me. I'm just setting my cards up here
Yes,
nicely so I
yes.
can reveal them. There's a lot of chaos going into this.
Oh boy. But I start, I suppose, because Pepper's going to be way more theatrical about flipping his over. I'm just going to move them up and start
Come
lining
on
them up.
down, he's going to say.
Come on down, Green Chameleon. That is my number 7.
You are the weakest link.
You are the weakest link. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
And a lot of these they're in the kind of the same pose. Pretty close. The eye is a little bit different. Than obviously the color. And then their surrounding is usually some sort of. A lot of them is like plants and stuff, trees or something. And there's like a little bug on a decent amount of them.
Yep.
And this one, I think it's just too green for me. Not too much else going on with it. And the bug on there isn't as interesting as maybe some of the others. It looks like there's a few bugs on
get
there.
a lot more complicated with this and give a bug rating score out of 10 and a color out of 10 and then the chameleon, the eye, where it's looking out of 10.
That's true. That is true.
Tail score.
But yeah, I would say, I mean, it's not the worst thing, but it just isn't as interesting as the other colors to me. Because that's kind of just, I don't know. I don't know if I've seen one in real life. But that's, I guess, from TV and animated stuff. When I think of them, I think of their base color being green, so then it just comes across as a little bit more boring.
Yep, he ain't even trying to hide there. That's just his natural color.
Yes.
Don't necessarily. I put these down in, I think, the right order here, so we'll see. My last place card is the blue.
I guess it is now, he says.
It is now. The blue here, and I will say that, like, when I actually look at these, when I analyze it for details, it turns out a lot different than what I would initially think, just based on what colors I really like, and from a distance, I'm like, those are my favorite colors. And then I look a little closer, I'm like you said, maybe the bug's a little more interesting in this. Maybe the expression on the face of the chameleon is a little more interesting. And this one, still interesting. I love all of them, and I love blue. This is a very light, kind of icy, frosty blue. Not that it's like an icy scenery or anything, but got the clouds in the sky. I think this is the only one different that doesn't really have the plants.
Yeah.
But still a really cool look, and I love the blue, and the dragonfly is a unique bug, and
it is.
I usually like the look of it. I don't know if it is the best looking dragonfly, I mean, or at least most interesting. I think it works here. You don't want too much detail, but
right.
I feel like a dragonfly is in itself something you could have a whole card about, and just when it's in a small, not as detailed form, it's not as interesting as it could be. But I like the plant as well that he's on. It's kind of striped, got a unique look to it. But yeah, this is also one of the two colors that the first, like, 50 times we played it, those were the two colors that weren't in the game, so maybe that is a little hurdle that it has to climb and get more plays with it. And
it has to climb all the way into the clouds.
I'll reveal yes, all the way into those clouds, which I don't know what kind of plant he's on that reaches that high.
But it is a tall one, and I will say my number 6 is also the blue one. I do like the clouds. It is a little bit different than the rest of these. It does make it stand out a little bit. But yeah, the dragonfly is also an interesting bug, but this is probably not the most interestingly done. But yeah, it's tough because it's got to be very just non taking the attention of the whole card. So
Yeah.
it works, and really at the end of the day, I mean these all look good. It's not like I think, oh god, this one just looks absolutely terrible. I will say there's probably a bit of a gap between the green and blue one for me, and then maybe the rest of them are a little bit closer possibly. But yeah, this is just a nice looking one. The plant itself is trying to camouflage in as well, so that's always nice. Yeah.
Yeah. Very cool, very cool. My 6 is the other color that we didn't play with for a while. That is yellow. And I feel like they just felt different than going into these because these are definitely the lightest of the two colors. Maybe not the least vibrant, but maybe probably the least vibrant, not as dark, saturated of a color. I guess they're not really that faded. They are pretty. They do pop quite a bit. And the yellow does have the ladybug, which I like a lot, and kind of the sunflowers, which I also like a lot. So on any given day, this list could change all about, because I used to be like, oh, like the blue, that'd be like top half at least, and now it's last. It's kind of crazy. That's just how my mind works. But right now, this is where this one sits. It's really cool. A lot of cool detail with the sunflowers that I like a lot. But yeah, still a lot of yellow. I don't know if it's the strongest, most impactful color.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and let us know in the comments below if you're still watching what you would rank these 7. But my next one will be the red one, which I think some people might really like, and some maybe not as much. I think the B on here is pretty interesting, so I will give it that, and I think the green and red work really well together. But not the biggest fan of strawberries myself, so that comes into play here. I don't eat strawberries typically. I guess I will eat strawberry flavored candy, which is definitely the same.
That's true. That's true. Comment below if that affects it. If you don't like it, or if you're allergic to strawberries, does that card, does it make you uncomfortable? Does it say this is dead last?
Allergic to bees.
Easily. Oh my God, they're going after everybody.
It might be. Who knows? This might be a poisonous one, chameleon. But yeah, otherwise it's still pretty good. And yeah, like you said, any given day these could change.
Yeah, they could. I will say this next one is one of the ones that if I just look at it, I'm like, yeah, that's like my favorite. That's my favorite, tied with another one. And now it's way down here, and that is the purple one, which I love purple. I love pink. And now looking at it now, when I look at the chameleon, I'm like, oh, that's just amazing. I love it. This should be my number 1. But I don't know, something about the flowers in the background. I don't think this one has a bug either.
Dying.
Yeah, it's like hanging down. It's not as, I don't know. Maybe it's just a little soft, because they are just delicate, soft flowers. I don't know, something about it. Right now, when I was making the list, that just put it down on this list. Even though I love purple, I almost always want to go for it in the game.
Mm-hmm.
When I sat down to analyze these and rank it, this is where it went. I'm going to just feel upset, and I'm not going to be able to sleep because I had it so low tonight.
Well, yeah, that is unfortunate. You have it even lower than I do, so you must really despise it.
I hate it.
But my next one is yellow here, so now we both have yellow on there as well. Yeah, I like the look of the flowers. I think it works. There's definitely a lot of them. I think I like that it's a lot of them.
Yep.
And I do like the ladybug a little bit more than the... do I like it more than the bee? I think I like it a little bit. They're about the same. They're both really good ones. And, yeah, I think his eye looking backwards is pretty cool.
Yep.
I think it's at the perfect angle. Is he looking back, or maybe he's looking right at me? I don't know.
Looking over his shoulder.
But yeah, I like him as a yellow card. It feels a little bit warmer. There is a little bit of kind of a darker mustardy kind of look to some of them, which keeps him from being in the top 3. But
holds him back. Holds him back. Taking this very seriously. I love it. My number 4, just missing out on that top 3 spot, is red. And that's the other one with purple.
Oh boy.
Where I was always like red and purple. Those are my go-to, and then the other two were my go-to, probably bottom because I didn't play them as much.
Mhm.
But now they end up here, and I don't know. I think it might be something with the strawberries. It's just something about that pattern. I love strawberries, eating them, so that's not affecting it.
Must be the bee.
I did get stung by a bee once when I was a kid, so that could be affecting it probably. But yeah, just I feel like purple and red. If you had asked me and I had to answer on the spot, what are my two favorite colors in here? I'd say purple and red. Easy. I'm always going for them. But somehow they're here. I don't know why.
Oh man,
I hate
Can't even make
myself.
the
I'm
top three.
torn.
He's torn about what he's just done.
I'm ending it now. These three don't exist.
Oh boy. Well, I'm gonna have another crossover with you here.
Oh,
My
boy.
purple's coming to play in the third spot. Yeah, I think the flowers work in this one. Kind of hanging down just
No, I'm
because
looking at them. I'm
of
like,
the
those are
planties on 'em.
beautiful flowers. I love them.
They are really great flowers, and then you got kind of the greenish bluish leaves on the bottom coming up, which look pretty nice. The flowers have that little bit of yellow in them as well, so they're adding
Yep.
another color in there, which is a little nice compared to some of these other ones. Kind of only have like the maybe two base colors of green and whatever the color is. Adding that little bit of yellow in there really is a nice touch.
Yeah, that's great. Now I'm like seeing it. I'm like, okay, this is the new orange. I'm going crazy. I'm losing my mind. Not that I ever had it. My number 3 is going to be a crossover with you, so it looks like we're going to have the same top 2.
Wow. We did not discuss it ahead of time, so that's...
And this is green.
I'm surprised green is so high for you.
I know. I'm even more surprised that it's this high for me, because this is, like you said, it's very green. It's probably, initially, you would think the most blah of it, because it's just kind of straight bamboo in the background. Not maybe initially you don't think of it as the most interesting, but this one I feel has probably been in the most games for me. It's always been there, and you know, you don't know. I always
what you're getting.
I'm like, I want to go red and purple, but then green comes in as that third color, and it's like it's always been good to me. I get 2 of them at a time sometimes. And
That's
I'm like,
true.
and I'm like, I really do kind of like the look of the bamboo in the background, kind of segmented. It's kind of a satisfying feel and look to me. I like the little ants down there and the grasshopper or whatever they are. And I do like the chameleon as well, although he looks a little bit like Robert De Niro now that I look at him.
Yep, he's
That's what I
definitely got
see.
that look.
That's what I see. Now, there's another list. Which celebrity is each of these chameleons?
There we go.
Everybody's asking for it.
Everybody's saying. Yeah, we're down to our final 2. I am going to say my number 2 is the orange chameleon. I like that it's got the nice brown branch in there, along with the green leaves, and then the oranges. Just all of those colors come together really, really nicely, and I do like oranges, so that comes into play as well. Yeah,
I never seen you
solid
eat
looking.
an orange in your life, Zach.
I'm eating them every now and then.
Okay.
Just enough for
When
it to
I'm
make
out
a
of the
difference.
room.
Just enough for it to make a difference here. And then you got the little creepy crawling caterpillar down on the bottom of that stick, and he's just making his way up. Or maybe down. I can't really tell. I think he's making his way up, I think. So just a cute little feature. Cute little feature there. You just flip-flop swap a...
I was thinking I could go like this and flip them, and then you think, oh, he's flipping them right side up, and then I swap them, but then I swapped them back.
Sure.
And my next one is orange as well.
Wow.
Yeah, you mentioning the caterpillar, I'm like, yeah, it does have that caterpillar. So I
That
kind of
did
wanted to
almost
move it
push
to
it up.
number 1 there. But yeah, just like you said, the oranges, kind of each one is defined, and it's just the green and the caterpillar. And I think this might be maybe the best expression on the chameleon's face. It's kind of a smirk
That
looking
is true.
backwards. I think each of them have their own little look, and everyone is good in the part. I think this brings them all together, puts the biggest smile on mine and his face.
That is true. So that leaves us both with our number 1 of being the brown chameleon, which in
Brown.
most cases, brown is almost never picked,
Yeah.
I would say, especially as a player color. But in this, it works.
It does.
And
It's different from the rest.
It
Because
is.
It is just wood. And you think that's going to be so boring. but the detail is awesome
They
on the
had
bark.
those little
The
piney
pine,
pieces to it.
pine cones, the pines.
And the white little butterfly or whatever just works so well. And yeah, it's just the perfect amount of all of that. And yeah, it just has a very woodsy feel.
It does. It does really have that feel. Like, just, it is crazy that all of these cards, they can have. The whole thing is that it's blended into the background. But they still all do have the chameleon pop. Some more than
They
others,
do.
but they do have that, and they do bring all their colors in it just enough. And these are some of my favorite kind of card artwork in any game, or these cards.
Yeah,
It's one of
they
my
really
most
are
played games. I just absolutely love the look of all of them. And that's why, as you can see, it's so hard for me to even choose. I keep flip-flopping
really
back
good.
and forth, and just a bunch of amazing looking cards, even colors that I usually don't like. I'm not a big fan of orange or green, and brown usually isn't that interesting, but they're some of the top ones.
Yeah, and yeah, they're all really great artwork, and I think
Yeah.
that's what helps make this game stick out just a little bit ahead of some of the other kind of filler card-driven games.
Yeah, I think this is like a whatever, maybe anniversary edition or reprinting or something. I think there's an original version, which I don't like the card artwork in that one nearly as much, but this version here with this cover is just phenomenal.
But yeah, like I said before, if you're still watching and you like this list, want more lists, give us a thumbs up. Let us know in the comments below. Also, let us know if you want us to do any more videos on Coloretto. We'd be happy to do some playthroughs or other things like that. And yeah, otherwise, we hope to see you on those videos. And as always, don't forget to
Keep on nibbling.
on our content.